Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaum Vishnupad Paramsa Pravarjakacharya Stotara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Abhay Chandraminda Bhaktivedanta Swami Haracharya Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shaharidastaka Ki Jai Premsikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. O glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. O glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. O glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. O glorious Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. O glorious Shri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaputadi Shrimati Radhanath Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaputadi Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshadarine. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamelam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Behivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be with all of you again. Last Kartik we have discussed, we started to discuss the Damodarastakam prayers, but we haven't finished them. So we discussed first 4 verses of the Damodarastakam, and in present seminar we'll try to cover the last 4 verses of the Damodarastakam. But before we go to the 5th verse, we'll make a short overview of the first 4 verses. That will not just begin somewhere in the middle. Yes. So, with your permission, we will sing verse by verse. So I will lead and you will respond. It's okay? Namam Vishwaram Sachit Anandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Yashodabiyolukala Param Rishnam Atyantato Drutya Gopya. To the Supreme Lord, whose form embodies eternity, knowledge and bliss, whose earrings swing to and fro, who shines beautifully in Gokula, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, quickly ran from the grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, and who was finally caught from behind by her, who ran faster than he. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances. Srila Rupa Goswami, in his Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, says, Tannama Rupa Charitata Sukirtananu, Smrityoh Kramena Rasanama Nasini Yojya, Tishtan Rajeta Donarage Jananugami, Kalam Nayeta Kilam Ityupadesha Saram. That Upadesha means instruction, and Saram means the essence. And the essence of all instruction, Upadesha Saram, is to always be immersed in the Lord's pastimes, holy names, Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu, to always glorify the Lord's holy name, His form and pastimes. Smrityoh Kramena Rasanama Nasini Yojya, to always remember His beautiful pastimes and names and forms, and to be immersed with our mind, Manasini Yojya, to these. Tishtan Vrajeta Donarage Jananugami. And we should live in Vrindavan. Yes, we should live in Vrindavan and follow the example of Rajavasis, of these Lord's associates, most beloved associates. And as Rupa Goswami states, this is the essence of all advice. You should always be immersed in this. Kalam nayet akilam. Kalam means time, and akilam means all the time. We should be like this. Yes. And this is the essence of all instruction. So, and the Damodarastakam actually facilitates us how to go deep in our relationship, how to live in Vrindavan. Because Rupa Goswami also states in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that if one is not able to physically live in Vrindavan, one should live in his heart in Vrindavan, in his mind. So we should strive for this. Maybe we don't have any tinge of desire to live in Vrindavan, either physically or emotionally, spiritually, in our heart. But we should at least know that this is my goal. This my acharyas state this is my goal. So it's better for me to start to desire it, or at least to start desire to desire it. Yes, this is extremely important. To know our goal, to know our sadhya or prayojana jnana. Prayojana means ultimate achievement. So without knowing our goal, we don't know how to proceed towards our goal. How can we proceed somewhere if we don't know where we are going? Yes, or we have very uncertain goal. Then we can go in many different directions. Yes, because we have to have clear goal to achieve it, isn't it? And our sadhya, our goal, perfection, is dependent on our sadhana. And these Damodarastakam prayers reveal us that, and we are reading these translations, that it's impossible to achieve the Lord in His intimate feature in Vrindavan, even with Vaidhi Bhakti. Jai Shri Radha Gopinath ki Jai, Shri Garanitha ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki Jai. Yes. This is very important to understand. And he, Satyavrat Muni, is repeating this, that I don't want even what one can obtain by Nava Lakshana Bhakti, or this ninefold devotional service, which is Vaidhi Bhakti, following rules and regulations of Bhakti Yoga. But we should, of course, properly understand what is Raganuga Bhakti, by which only the Lord is attained in Vrindavan. Yes, in Chaitanya Charitamrita also it is said that the Lord is not satisfied with this external bhakti. Of course, to some degree, He is satisfied. We can become liberated. We can go to Vaikuntha, but will not achieve Krishna in Vrindavan. We should have clear understanding of this. So, if one wants to proceed to this most precious jewel that we have received from Lord Chaitanya through Guru Parampara and Srila Prabhupada, then we have to go deep in our spiritual understanding. Superficiality will not help us. Yes. So, here in this first verse, Satyavrat Muni first offers obeisances to the Lord. Namam Ishwaram Sachit Ananda Rupam. And who is this Supreme Lord? His Sachit Ananda Rupam. His form is composed of eternal cognizant bliss. It's interesting form, isn't it? Composed of eternal cognizant bliss. Yes. Something completely unimaginable.
Eternal cognizant bliss.
Yes. Sat means that He's eternal, and Chit means that He's cognizant, that He is aware of everything, and Ananda means that He's blissful. Yes. So, and He's Ishvara. It means that He's supreme controller of everyone. Yes, and has unlimited shaktis, unlimited power. And although He's so glorious and magnanimous and yes, great Aishwarya is His, the greatest possible. Still, He's afraid of His mother. Something unimaginable. How it's possible that the Lord, who is glorified also, that He's feared by fear personified. Yes, from the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, in first canto, it is also said that the Lord is feared by fear personified. That His holy name also is feared by fear personified. What to speak of His personality? Yeah. But still, he's afraid of his mother. So Satyavrat Muni first expresses his understanding of the Lord's greatness, but immediately turns our attention to the sweetness of the Lord. Yes, to the Lord Madhurya aspect. And because the Lord is most sweet, but most sweet in Vrindavan only. Yeah. And he puts us in this set of Vrindavan, that we can see how unlimited sweet he is. That he has so intimate relationship with his mother that he forgets that he is the Lord. And Mother Yashoda also accepts him as his ordinary child. As there is a verse in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Triya Chopanishad Bishya, Sankhya Yogesha Sattvatehi, Upagya Mahatmyam, Harim Samadhyatatmajam. That the Lord who is glorified in the three Vedas and through Upanishads as the greatest of all, Upagya Mana Mahatmyam. Mahatmyam means sings his glories. But Mother Yashoda took him as ordinary little child. Yes. So, and this is Vrindavan Leela that should capture our heart. And this is the meaning also of the month of Kartik. Kartik is also called Urja. Have you heard about Urja before? Yes, Urja means energy, power, effulgence. And who is Urjeshwari? Shrimati Radharani is Urjeshwari, yes. This is her month. And she's the original Urja, original power, original energy. And the whole month actually is meant for pleasing her. Yes. And we sing this song of Damodar Krishna. There are actually two Damodaras. One is Yashoda Damodar and one is Radha Damodar. In both cases, Damodar was bound by love of his devotee, either Yashoda or Srimati Radharani. Yes. So, by singing this song, we try to please Srimati Radharani, actually. Because she's very fond of hearing Krishna's pastimes, even these intimate childhood pastimes. Yes, are very charming, and so she loves to hear them again and again and again. So we sing for her pleasure. That should be our meditation. So we should not go deep in to the whole scene, but we should know that what happened. Mother Yashoda was churning butter. This happened on Deepavali celebration day, yes, or Diwali. She was convinced that her maidservants are not able to properly churn butter for Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is going to houses of other gopas and gopis and stealing butter there. So she gave leave to all her maidservants, and she was determined that she will make the butter herself, the best possible butter for Krishna. And she was churning and singing songs about Krishna with deep love for the Lord. So much so that her love attracted the Lord that he woke up. He was sleeping in the next room. And he woke up and crawled to his mother and wanted to drink her mother's milk. And Yashoda happily put Krishna in her lap and started breastfeeding the child with unlimited pleasure. Yes, and Krishna was also extremely satisfied by his mother's love. But then the milk overflowed on the stove. And this was not ordinary milk. We can say that why Mother Yashoda was so concerned about milk. Nanda Baba, her husband, had unlimited cows. So what about a few drops of milk? Krishna was perfectly satisfied in her lap. So, and she put away Krishna from her lap and went to save some insignificant amount of milk. Isn't it astonishing? Krishna was perfectly satisfied with her, and she put him aside, and obviously Krishna was not satisfied with this. He became extremely angry that he was put aside. But still, one may think that this is not bhakti, but this reveals the most secret aspects of bhakti. Because this milk was special milk and meant exclusively for Krishna's pleasure, it was more important than Krishna himself. So things and anything, that means also devotees, who are meant for Krishna's pleasure, are more important than Krishna himself. Aradhananam sarvasham Vishnur aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. It is explained by Lord Shiva when he was asked by Parvati Devi what kind of worship is the highest. He said the worship of Vishnu or Krishna is the highest. But worshipping those who are connected to Krishna, or Krishna's devotees, and things that are connected to Krishna, is higher than worship of Vishnu. So Mother's saving milk from the stove was highest than her breastfeeding Krishna with her own milk, because this milk was meant for Krishna's pleasure. And Krishna was not satisfied. Krishna picked up a stone and broke the pot of butter. And then he also stole the butter from the pot which was hanging from the ceiling and started to feeding monkeys with it. Yes. And then Mother Yashoda came back and she saw the buttery footprints leading to the store, and she picked up a stick and went to see Krishna. And Krishna noticed her and started to run. Yes, and this is very peculiar scene, because the Supreme Lord, who is feared by fear personified, is running in fear in front of his mother. Yes, and then mother is even able to catch him, although the Lord is glorified in Upanishads, for example in Ishopanishad, that the Lord is fastest than the faster, faster than the fastest, actually. No one can catch the Lord. The yogis try to catch the Lord in their minds, in their hearts, but they are unable to. Yes, the Lord is too quick, too elusive to catch him. And we know from different pastimes how different personalities couldn't catch the Lord. For example, when the Lord was facing the two great armies, one from Jarasandha and other from Kalayavana, he went out of Mathura, and this Kalayavana, great demon, wanted to catch Krishna. And Krishna was just walking slowly, but regardless how fast Kalayavana was running behind Krishna, he couldn't catch Krishna. Yes. He was convinced, now I'll grab him, but he couldn't. He couldn't. But in front of Mother Yashoda, Krishna was running as fast as he could. But and Yashoda was not even lean like modern models. But she could catch Krishna. Yes. Something unimaginable. And Krishna was crying and rubbing his Kajala smeared eyes. Yes. And this is the theme of the second verse. Rudanta muhur netra yugmam vijantam karam budra yugmena satanka netram. Muhushvasakam patririkankakanta stita greva damodaram bhakti badam. Muhushvasakam patririkankakanta stita greva damodaram bhakti badam. Seeing his mother's stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful, and his quick breathing shook the strand of pearls on his neck, which bore 3 lines like a conch shell. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound by the ropes of his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. Yes. So, the Lord here was crying, and he was looking here and there. How can he escape his mother? Unable to be freed from his mother grip. Yes, and she also bound Krishna by the rope of her love. Actually, yes, it is mentioned by our acharyas that Krishna's belly was 12 fingers, circumference of Krishna's belly was 12 fingers. And his mother took a rope to bind Krishna, but she couldn't. This rope was 2 fingers too short. And then she connected more ropes to this rope. And still it was 2 fingers too short. It was something extremely strange. And then the ladies from neighborhood came and was looking at this fun. Mother Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna with no avail. She couldn't. And they brought their own ropes to help Mother Yashoda to bind Krishna. But all the ropes were 2 fingers too short, all together. Yeah. And they were all watching this this miracle, actually. How it's possible that the belly doesn't grow and the ropes don't get shorter, but still there are 2 fingers too short. Yes, and it is explained that no rope can be long enough to bind the Lord's belly, because all the universes are in the Lord's belly. So how can one insignificant rope from one tiny universe, which is considered to be the smallest of the universes actually, or one of the smallest. So, and the rope is completely insignificant comparing to the universe. So how can one small rope fits around the Lord's belly? Yes. And the Lord showed that the all universes are contained in his belly, even to Mother Yashoda. Yes. 2 times actually. Once when Mother Yashoda was breastfeeding the child and he was yawning, and then Mother Yashoda suddenly saw the whole universe in the Lord's belly. Yes, it is described also in the prayers of, this is in 10th canto, but also described by Brahma in his prayers in 14th chapter of 10th canto. And the next time was the Lord showing the universe within his mouth to Mother Yashoda when he was eating dirt. Yes, so this small rope couldn't circle the Lord. She couldn't tie this short rope around the Krishna's belly. So this is actually teaching us how no endeavor can bind the Lord. No endeavor can bind the Lord. We need Krishna's mercy that we can connect with the Lord. Yes, and this is the famous teachings of these 2 fingers that are too short. One is, of course, our endeavor, and other is Krishna's mercy. Without endeavor, we will not receive Krishna's mercy, or we can say we are not able to receive it. Yes. And there is 2 different types of teachings in Sri Sampradaya. One is from the group of followers of Ramanuja that they more dedicate their spiritual path to studying Tamil scriptures, and the other group is studying more Vedic scriptures. And one has this idea that spiritual life is like small monkey. Have you heard about this? Small monkey has to cling to his mother, and his mother is jumping around and carrying the monkey, the baby monkey. And if the baby monkey falls down, mother doesn't pick him up. Actually rejects the baby if he falls down. So this idea, this philosophy of baby monkey philosophy, is that one has to cling to the Lord with all his power, endeavor, and never fall down. If he falls, he's lost. And the other group has this kitten philosophy. That devotee is like a little kitten, little baby cat. And the mother cat grabs the kitten by his neck and takes him wherever she wants. And this philosophy states that we are completely dependent on Krishna's mercy. Like a cat, baby cat, a kitten is completely dependent on the cat's mercy. Yes, he doesn't endeavor anything on his own. He's just carried around by his mother. So, actually we have combined philosophy. And this is another comparison which is also famous, of one who is in deep dark well, and he cannot come out of the well, and someone who is liberated, who is out of the well, throws a rope into the well for this person to come out. He's able to come out. And this, one who is in the well has to grab the rope, but also depends on the mercy of one who is outside to pull him out. So both is needed, our endeavor and mercy. And without our endeavor, we cannot appreciate mercy. Mercy is available, but we will not receive it, we will not appreciate it without our endeavor. So our endeavor is extremely important, but it's not enough. You should know that we should strive for bhakti as if everything depends on us. But at the same time, we should be completely dependent on Krishna's mercy and surrendered to Krishna's mercy at the same time. Yes. Because nothing is achievable without Krishna's mercy. But without our endeavor, we don't open our heart to Krishna's mercy. Yes, our heart is, for example, like a pot. And although there is rain, if the pot is turned upside down, not even a drop will come to this pot. So only if the pot is turned upside up, the rain can come into the pot. So we should endeavor to keep our pot of our heart turned towards Krishna, not away from Krishna. Yes. This is antarmukha in Sanskrit, that we are turned inwards towards spiritual reality, not bahirmukha. If we are bahirmukha, bahir means outside. If we are turned to this outside world, this material world, our consciousness, our attention, if it is directed into material world, it's impossible to get mercy. Yes. So, yes, this is very important instruction, and only with great enthusiasm we can go deeper in our spiritual life. From time immemorial, we are accustomed to live in this material world. We are accustomed to seek pleasures and happiness in this material world. We are accustomed to defend our existence. Understand? We may think that we are devotees, and we actually are devotees to a certain degree, but if we try to defend our material existence, we miss the point. Yes, our material existence is struggle for survival, and if therefore Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, put so much stress on this humility, then one should be more humble than a blade of grass. The blade of grass, how it's possible to be more humble than a blade of grass? The blade of grass actually is fighting for existence with other blades of grass, for its space, for its food. Yes. So one who is more humble than a blade of grass doesn't fight for his existence. Yes. And he's very tolerant. And then only we can open our heart to Krishna's mercy. If we try to prove everyone that everything is okay with us if we are judged by others, for example. Even if we are judged that we did something that we didn't, if we want to defend ourselves, this is defending our existence, our material existence actually. What we defend actually? We defend a bag of bones. we defend our mind, our false ego actually, and nothing else. What is there to defend? We are attached to certain whirlpool of that matter. Therefore we defend it. Isn't it? If some dust in the street is offended, you are not concerned. But you are concerned if this dust that surrounds your consciousness is offended. Then you are very much disturbed. So, one who tries to spiritually advance, he should become very humble and tolerant, and train himself not to respond to mistreatment also. Like Damodarastakam, for example, in Srimad Bhagavatam, he was not concerned what will happen to him. Once these dacoits captured Jadabharat and wanted to sacrifice him to Bhadrakali as a human sacrifice, as a human animal. And he, of course, was perfectly aware what is happening. And he was willingly accepting his fate. Yes, this is an extreme example. No one can be so unaffected as Jadabharat, but still we should take instruction from his pastime. To be more tolerant than a tree. Yes, and then only we can develop this deep hankering from the Lord. And we can bind Krishna. It's said here that Krishna was not bound actually by the rope. He was bound by the Lord, his mother's love. So only then we can develop this intimate love for Krishna. As Lord Chaitanya says that Kirtanyak Sadahari, only when one is so humble and tolerant and respectful for everyone, and doesn't expect any respect for himself, only then we can connect with the Lord. Kirtanyak Sadahari. This is connection. We are always connected with the Lord's holy name. Yes. So we have no time to go to third and fourth. So we'll make very short overview next time, tomorrow, of the third and fourth, and go to the fifth verse. It's okay for you? Is there any question or comment or doubt? Yes, please.
In the beginning of your class, you mentioned that we go to Vaikuntha as this is liberation. This is not the highest goal.
By Vaidhi Bhakti. By Vaidhi Bhakti, we go to Vaikuntha.
Yeah, my question is, can you shortly explain the difference between impersonal liberation and the liberation that brings us in Vaikuntha? And that is one part, and the other is, if we are in Vaikuntha, are we actually on the way to Krishna? Will we practice over there, and will we actually be able to ascend more?
Yes. So, impersonal liberation is apparent loss of one's existence. Of course, it is not, because no one can cease to exist. This is the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explaining to Arjuna that no one will cease to exist. But impersonal liberation means to merge into Lord's effulgence. This is one kind of impersonal liberation, and the other, which by our acharyas is even more abominable, is merging to Lord's body. So it's losing our awareness of the self. This is impersonal liberation. But personal liberation on Vaikuntha planets is not losing our existence or perception of our existence. We exist for the pleasure of the Lord. Yes. There are actually two kinds of liberation in Vaikuntha. One is svasukha, moksha, desire for personal pleasure, and the other is prema. I forgot the exact expression, but desire for prema, to have love for Krishna. And both, it is explained by our acharyas, by Sanatana Goswami, are tinged with some selfish desire. Of course, this svasukha moksha is more tinged with selfish desire, because we have desire for personal satisfaction. Then this prema is tinged by personal desire. This is example of associates of Krishna in Dwaraka. In Dwaraka, yes, because, for example, Krishna's queens want to have Krishna a relationship with Krishna with being properly married to Krishna. Yes, this is important for Krishna's queens, that they're properly married to Krishna, that they have proper relationship with Krishna. But the gopis in Vrindavan, they don't care if they're married or not to Krishna. For example, these young gopis, Kanyakumaris from Vrindavan, they prayed for Krishna to be their husband, they prayed this goddess, Katyayani, the goddess Katyayani. They prayed this feature of Durga, please make the son of Maharaj Nanda my husband. But Krishna was not ready for marriage at that time, because it is explained that he has to first get the Brahmana thread. But he was not, he received Brahmana thread only when he went to Mathura. Not at that time, so he was not ready for marriage. But they wanted Krishna immediately to have his intimate association. And so, even if they're officially married to someone else, but just to have Krishna association immediately. So this is the difference between Vaikuntha, even up to Dwaraka and Mathura, and Vrindavan. That this intimate love in Vrindavan is completely above this idea what is proper and what is not. Its only focus is on Krishna's pleasure. Yes, this is only focus for every resident of Vrindavan. It's Krishna's pleasure. Everyone lives just for that. There's no tinge of any kind of other idea. Even queens of Vrindavan, of Dwaraka, have this idea. We have to be properly married to Krishna. Of course, this is very subtle desire, but still, we can say to a certain degree, it's some selfish motive.
So that you compare that to the Vaikuntha existence.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Anything else?
You mentioned about basically defending ourselves,
Yes.
defending what we're not. So just if you could explain a bit more, because that's the ideal, that we actually don't defend our illusory existence, what we identify with, but it's very natural to defend, and it seems that everyone defends, even the pure devotees, just what they defend changes. So for a practicing devotee, it seems it would be a bit superficial to kind of not defend oneself if they do get agitated by the situation. So is there we have to also accept that we are conditioned and we can't just accept anything and see it as Krishna's mercy, as long as we don't have that consciousness that it's also natural that there's defending and it's a learning process. So could you say something more?
Yes. This is of course very difficult, because there is eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Basic bodily need actually is defending. But it's very beneficial for if we try to first understand that we shouldn't defend ourselves, and even try to practice it. For example, this Mauna Vrata is very much based on this idea of not defending, because it's very difficult to be silent when you are offended, for example. But one can very quickly spiritually advance if he is practicing it. Maybe not in every circumstance it's possible. And if we have wrong idea, then maybe it's even harmful for us. If we just keep grudge in our heart, but externally don't say anything, at a certain point we will explode. and we'll definitely offend people. Even before we explode, we offend people in our mind, which is of course detrimental for our spiritual progress. So when one tries to practice this, he should approach it maturely. But we should know that we cannot go around it. This Trinada Pisunachana verse is not just a poetry. Yes, it's instruction. And so important instruction that in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that one should thread this verse of Trinada Pisunichana on the thread of the holy name and wear it around his neck for constant remembrance. So it's extremely important to become humble, more humble than a blade of grass, and as tolerant as a tree. And a tree is extremely tolerant. Now it's cold outside and drizzling and so on, and strong winds, and a tree stands out without complaining. And if one comes to a tree he gets fruits, he gets fuel, he gets shade, without asking anything in return. Yes, and Lord Krishna is glorifying trees in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Etavat janma safalyam dehinamiha dehishu pranar atardiyavacha shreyam acharanam sada. And he instructs everyone. First he glorifies trees, how everyone can get everything from them and they don't complain, they don't ask for anything. And then he says that by our life we should serve others. Pranar artha with our wealth, diya with our mind, and vacha with our words we should serve other living entities. That this is the foremost duty of every living entity. Yes. Itavat janma safalyam. Yes, our life depends on this service. Pranar artha tiyavacha shreya acharnam sada. This is the highest perfection if we serve others. And this verse comes in very interesting part of Bhagavatam. Krishna just was glorifying the trees, how they give everything for the benefit of others. And then he sent, just the next moment, he sent his friends to these yogic brahmanas and asked them for food, for Krishna, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But they didn't care, they didn't even respond. And so our acharyas explain that even the trees are above brahmanas who don't live for the benefit of others. So if the brahmanas are not, they don't live for the benefit of others, are lower than trees. So, this is their example of being extremely humble and tolerant. So we should also strive for this. And if we are not able to willingly accept offenses as Krishna's mercy, then of course it's better for us to defend. But we should strive for going deeper in our spiritual life. This defending is very superficial. It's on the bodily plane. And I can say this from personal experience. My son was behaving like this when he was a small child. If he was chastised, he didn't say anything. And I was completely disarmed. And I took the instruction from my child in this way, and I also tried to behave like this. And it was not just behaving of my child, but it was confirmed in Shastra. So I took it seriously. And I find it a very powerful method for spiritual advancement. If one is able to follow this, I recommend. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanandi, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisance.